Hey guys, so today we could either do the shoes or the hand. We choose to start with the hand, so I'm going to place this hand in the right spot. So make sure thumbs inside so you know which ones are the right hands. We are going, that's why I like keeping this arm, because now we can gently twist the toothpick and remove it from here, and then you have a hand and you still have a hole to be able to place it in there. You don't need to have all this big here. You can cut it if you rather, but make sure to have it right there so you don't cover the hole once you're doing. Okay, that's better. If the hand was straight down, I wouldn't even need to cut. I would just use this same clay to the whole arm, but because her hands are inside, then it might be easier if I just cut the hand and then add clay to the arm after. So I'm going to place it in here, slowly, carefully, until I reach the right position there. That's good. And I am looking to the picture right here, so I think that's good. You guys can see there what I'm doing. And oopsies, apparently it's like that. She's twisting her hands like this. Okay, I place it opposite. And then we have to really squeeze it in here to avoid air. If you feel like there is air, you can put some gel inside the hole of the hand before you put it in here. I'm just gonna make sure that this is well stuck to the wire there. Sometimes it doesn't really want to get stuck, so you can also like twist it. I don't know, figure out a way to get this very well connect to the wire. What you can do here, if you don't want to bake it before, like same thing we did with the foot, cover with clay, bake it, and finish the arm. Another way that you can do it, you cover with the clay, and then instead of going and bake it, you can just wait a little bit, like wait a day, or put on a fridge, and then it's gonna get harder, and then it makes it easier for you to work. It also works good. So I'll put it in here. Hands. I think the hand is even more. Maybe I can just do this. So little finger up there. Thumb probably is down here. I'm going to, let's see if I can show you guys. Here, this thumb looks to me like it's more like this one coming down. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure in there. So holding the hand and pressuring down. So I think that can fit her body better. Okay, so what is happening here, I believe, because we can't really see, is this thumb is open and kind of going to this side of the leg, and the other ones are in the front. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to bring her arm more inside. Like this. Now I have to find a way to keep it there with the wire. I can't just glue with the hand. If I try to glue with the hand, like put her hand in there just with the connecting the clay, it might not work. So I really have to go with the wire and keep the wire in the right position. Otherwise it's gonna get out. So there you go. Now I have to just fix that finger there. So got smashed. Get a better tool here. There. But when it gets smashed, it also connects again with the one finger here. I don't want it to be connected. I want it to go up. There. Come on, little finger, go up. There. This is kind of what I have there. And something that gives movement to the hand is keeping these two fingers together. These two fingers can be kind of stuck together and then the other one's away. That kind of give a good movement. And I'm gonna put this little guy here also a little bit higher. Like this. I like that. So let me go around so you guys can see. There. Little guy a little bit higher. Two fingers in the center together and down, and the other guy there higher too. Okay. Okay, so I have the hand there. I just realized that I should have covered the arm before doing that, because now this is kind of like a hard position to put the hand, and if I try to cover the arm before baking, I might damage what I just did. So I should have covered the arm first. Well, I didn't, so maybe I'll have to bake this hand and then go for the arm. Nothing is a problem, just making sure to know for the next time we should have. So I guess for this arm I'm going to do the right thing. So I'm just going to cover this arm now. Turn her here. And I'm going to cover. I'll see if I can already shape it or not. Maybe I will be able to, maybe I won't. So I already knead my clay very well. It's very soft actually, because I was kneading before class, and I'm gonna cover up. So again, like I like covering, I like placing in one side, bring it strongly together here, connect them, avoid all the air. If you already have a way that you do that, go ahead. It's just my favorite way to do it. And make sure that you won't leave any air inside there, which is not a very easy task. So sometimes I kind of go around like that, twisting. It helps me to feel it and feel there is no air left inside. If it gets soft on your touch, it's because there is air inside. So you know it. Just twisting and down. And same thing with the hand. The hand here, it's also the twisted, like bending the wrist like that. So I am gonna have to cut the hand like I did with the other one, so I can cover the arm until here. And I'm gonna follow the style. I'm gonna keep on having a very skinny arm. So it's the arm, it's gonna be pretty much just covering the wire, and I'm not gonna put a lot of shaping here. But again, you can. You really don't need to follow my style. Okay, so I covered here. I still have to add some clay here, but now I'm going to talk about the shoulder. So you can see neck, back there, you can see the trapezius, and then the shoulders go up a little bit here. So mine is already going here up. That gives a pretty beautiful look. You can even go higher because it's a caricature. It gets feminine, it gets pretty. So up and straight. One of the biggest mistake when my students make arm that make it look weird, so be careful to don't do that, is making a huge big space between the arm and bringing the arm apart from the body. No, go straight with an inclination like this. Go straight until you reach that part here, straight, and then the shoulder is built a little bit out and up, but there is not a huge big space in here. It looks really, really weird if you do that. It doesn't matter the style you're working unless it's like all separated, but it kind of look like a Lego if you do that. You know, Minecraft, Lego style. And if you're not looking for this kind of style, then don't do it. Okay, once I reach here, I'm going to connect with this part of the boobs, and whatever is left can get out. Not because it's not a realistic, otherwise you'd have to put something on the back there, but you don't have to here. And here I'm just gonna round it. And connect them. Blend it together. I say connected, but I think the right word is blend. So blend it together here. And then after the arm is all stuck in there without air bubbles, then you can shape it. I'm not going to put any muscle right now. Maybe after I baked I can add some. Probably won't. I like skinny. It's just my thing for this kind of body type she has. Maybe a little bit here. I'm going to put right now because there's some wire showing there, so I'm going to cover up. And maybe make this part a little bit wider here. You don't have to. I'm not going to go all the way down there because the hand get a little bit of in there, like you can see here. So I think it's enough coming until here, and then here in the back where she bends her arm, don't forget to make a little tip for the elbow if you want, depending on your style as well. I will, just a little bit. And I think I have it pretty good now. Here. Okay, so for the back, I'm gonna bring already kind of like a little oval wider in the back with the, I don't know, just the shape, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put in here, make the back wider in there, which is not gonna show because of her hair. So there's a, you just come here, there's a, I don't know the name in English, scapula maybe? Scapula, that's in Portuguese. But anyway, it's just wider here, bigger. It's that bone that when you move your arm, it moves in the back. And it connects straight with the shoulder here. You can do this and meets the neck in there with the trapezius in here. I'm not really going realistic, just to give an idea of the right shape, really. And in the spine, it gets deeper here. So dip, make a little of a rounded shape in here, going higher than the back, and you can meet the arm in there, blend it together, and here you can make a mark for the shoulder if you want, and the trapezius go straight to the neck, which again I'm not concerned because it's not going to show. So this is what I got there. Just you don't really need to worry about this shape for the caricature, but it's good to have it, give a little bit of movement to your sculpture. So I'm just going to blend in together with my finger, and then after with the brush as well, just with the finger first. And then here. There you go. But oh, we can't forget there's tattoos on her arm, so we might need a little bit thicker to fit the tattoos. Otherwise it's not going to fit any tattoo in here. But not right now. Again, I'm going to bake it first. Alright, so once I have the arm, now I can put the second hand. So cut and gently put your hand in there. Bring it all the way. To know that it's all the way, make sure that this is going to make the curve. So bring that, the end of the hand here, bring it to the curve. And then just press it until there's no air bubbles. And again, if you feel there's air bubbles in the hand, put a little bit of gel inside the hole before you do that. So just fill up the hole and then you place in there. Okay, so this finger is already in the right pose. This one goes straight down there. This one kind of bend and there. How does it? I think these three are kind of like this. This one just there. This one is kind of like there's a little hole in here. That's the where my toothpick was. I can just go with the brush after, and I think this finger is more like this. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. A little bit more of this one. Kind of like this. Oops. Don't let the tip to bend. I think it's this. It doesn't need to be exactly right. So I think that's kind of what it is. Just make sure that those fingers are gonna be right on the side as well. It's not gonna be like all bending wrong, and that's it. So I'm gonna bake this now. Probably 10 minutes is enough for the hands and this thin arm. 275, 10 minutes. If you want to go more, you can go 15, but you don't have to. Okay, so now I have it baked. Hands are baked, and I can work on her arms. Okay, so this one I'm just gonna wrap the clay around. So here also you don't need to worry with the right proportions, like when you choose where you're going to put the elbow. You can play around and make really long here and short elbows, or the opposite, like short here and small here. But once you already bend it here, so you have to keep the same height for the elbow this side. And make sure to wait for the hands to cool down before you keep on working, because when it's still warm, it gets soft, so you might break it when you try, like, rub against the body like that. It's dangerous, like I just broke the finger there. So I should have done this in the arm before I put the hand. It got really hard to work right now with the hand, even baked. So if you're doing this after me, put the arm first and then the hand after. It's gonna be easier. Just like I did that arm. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And here, because the arm is so bad looking, you can get a brush with oil and fix it. Mine is a little pinkish, but it's okay. I can just clean up with alcohol this color after if I don't want to make her pinkish. And clean up it the best as you can, just so don't bake so badly. Be careful to don't knead the clay with oil, because it makes it weaker. And then also after you put oil anywhere, also make sure to put alcohol before you bake it, so you remove the layer of oil that makes the clay weaker. It's good to blend in together the oil but it does make the clay weaker. And if you're not working with PV clay, you might really be careful with the oil part. Because PV clay is stronger, but other clays break really easy after. I have an accident here. I rubbed the hands too strong and I broke my little finger in there, which is not a huge big problem. I'll show you guys how to fix it. It's pretty easy actually. So you see now the arm is not as bad, and it's still, there's no air bubbles in there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a little bit of the gel that is liquid clay, liquid polymer clay. For PV clay they call gel, Super Sculpey they call, I think it's liquid clay, I'm not sure, and other brands I've never worked with, so I don't know. I'm going to get a little bit of the gel, and you can either put just the gel, but if it's too weak, or I mean too thin to hold it, you can get a little bit of clay and put a lot of gel and squeeze in together, and you're gonna make like a glue clay. It's gonna be very sticky, but not so thin as the gel, so it's gonna keep it better, the finger in the spot. This is really good. Don't use oil to do that. Always the gel. The oil, you're gonna make a gooey, weak thing that is going to break even easier after. It's always with the liquid clay. Gel makes the clay weaker. I mean oil makes the clay weaker. Liquid clay, gel, it does not. It makes it even stronger. So always with the gel. So see, like a gooey thing here, sticky clay. You get this, get a little bit, put in there where it broke. To be last week, the best thing to do is that this hand is actually glued to the dress, right? So I'm going to put some of this gooey on the thumb. Make sure it's going to be attached to the body, so it gets stronger like that. It's not going to show, but it's just going to be attached in there. There's also the Bake & Bond that you can add instead of the gooey clay, and then this hand is going to be stronger now. So thumb, I'm going to also put some on this finger here. Make sure that all the hand is very glued to the body. So I'm going to put some of the gooey even on the side of the finger there, and then when I connect in here, it's also going to be connected to the body. Okay, there we go. Right there. Right in place. And to make sure it will be right, get the brush, clean up the oil. This one has oil. Get just gel on it. I don't know if you guys can see that I'm getting gel from the floor here. Just the gel, and make sure that everything is well connected with the brush and smooth it out. The gel is going to help to smooth. Okay, so finger is there. Okay, now I'm going to put some volume here, just enough to put the tattoos. I don't want a lot of volume. I can kind of copy how, put the picture there to make it easier, kind of copy how thick her arm is in there. So not much, and I'm not going to put muscle shape or anything. I really just will make it a little bit thicker. There. I think that's enough to put the tattoos. And then you add as much volume as you can. There. Okay, so I think that's enough there. So I want to have all of this connected, so I'm going to make sure that I'm going to also put some glue in this hand here. Make sure it's going to be connected there. So just gel and in there, in there. You can also wrap around with some tape to make sure it will stay. And I'm gonna do the shoes. I'm going to try to bring her a little bit higher so I can fit this part, the bottom of the shoe in there. So I'm gonna put a little bit of clay. She's wearing black shoes. So a little bit of clay under the foot in there. Bring her higher so you can fit in there. And there's a wire in between which you have to squeeze over it, the two sides. So here, and put another on the other side of the wire. Bring it up, squeeze it, place it in there, and squeeze it together. There. And this is just so I don't have to take her out of the base, because I don't have the hands well placed. If you rather, you can just do that. Take it out and it's going to be easier to put this part in. So same thing with the other foot. There. And when you think you have it all around, you can squeeze it down a bit to get the height that you want for the shoe. You can leave it higher than that if you want, like to make like platform shoes. Then once you set the height that you want, we're going to smooth that out here with a knife. You can use a knife too if you rather. There. On the side, just here. Connect with the other part there. You can leave this part a little bit out because we're going to build some here too. So, all right. Same thing with the other foot. Right there. So make a straight, kind of like as thick as the foot, and give it the thickness that you want for the bottom of the shoe in there, the shoe. And here, what we can do is we can kind of measure where the heel is and make a cut on the clay to be able to fit better. Or you can just make two pieces like we did for the bottom. Squeeze it and put in the other side. Okay, so there. You don't need to make that thick if you don't want. You can make it thinner. And just blend it all together. You can also blend it with a brush. If you want a very thin heel, you don't need to put clay here. You can just paint with a nail polish. It also gets cool, just skinny like that, skinny heels. Just get black nail polish and paint it after. It also works. So make sure to come with the shoe all the way to the other side of the foot. Okay, so you have it covered, all the foot. Okay, now I'm gonna open up a very, very thin clay. Do this. You can use the roller to make it even thinner. So, very thin. And then you can cut it with a cutter or with a knife. Let's see if the cutter will work in here. So hers is like this. I think the cutter is not gonna be enough for, well, it might be. Is it showing? Yeah. In here. Okay, then you put it in there and you have the perfect shoes. You show as much toes as you want. There. And now the back. Cut a circle. Get the circle. Put on the back. There. Hopefully you guys have a good view of it. And once you have it centered, you just place them together. And that's it. That's her shoe. The bottom here, you just place them together. Cut the excessive clay. You can cut with a scissors. You can just cut with a knife or whatever you think is the best. Here. And here. Make a little ball. Let's see the best angle for explaining there. So make a little ball. I don't know if this is small enough, but I'm gonna do it with this one. Place it in there underneath. Squeeze it in. Keep on with your fingers, like squeeze it in. Fingers, or I'm gonna have to put my finger in front here. Just squeeze it in like this and go around the wire. So what I did, I put the tool in there and my finger in here and squeeze them till they meet up in the front there. Once they meet up, you try to blend them together or at least connect them, even if they're not like smooth, and doesn't matter. So like this. Can you guys see it? So it's just a little ball that I connect them together, and then once you have that, you start bringing down, covering the wire, and you make as thin as you want your heel to be. One thing is that it's thicker in here, and once you get here you can go inside more. On the back goes more inside, and gets thinner once it gets down like this. So maybe just look to one heel and try to copy the heel's shape, but it's kind of like this. It goes in and then a little bit straight once you reach a little bit down here. There's different shapes obviously, but there's an average one. And whatever, if your wire is showing, don't worry, you can paint that after. Again, all the shoe with nail polish, so it hides the wire and it make it also shiny shoes. So I want mine very thin, so I'm gonna keep on doing that until it's thin enough. And bring all the excessive clay to the bottom like I'm doing. Spread around, and then you just clean up and eliminate the excessive clay. Well, that's it guys. Now I'm just going to be making it thinner and as much as I think it should be, but I think you guys got what must be done here, right? You can either leave the tip of it a little bit wider to make like the little thing that has on the bottom of the heel, for us to don't make noises when we step on it. I mean, make less noises. Okay, that's it. And then to smooth it out, just a thicker brush, oil or alcohol, whatever you rather, and smooth it out so you don't have to sand the shoe. I'm not going to smooth it out all over here. I'm just going to show you guys, and I'll smooth it out after, out of camera, because it's kind of not necessary to show all of that, and the video turns out too big if I do. Big and boring. So same thing for the other shoe. I'm just gonna do it and fast forward the video for you guys to don't get bored. If you don't want to watch it, just do the same in the other foot. Trying to put this same position. And just get some alcohol in my brush. So isopropyl, and it gets all cleaned out. So you don't have to worry about if you make it a little bit dirty. Just before you bake, you do this, and that's it. Something else you can do here is, instead of making a cutting and making a ball, you can also use this to make the heel. All right, I'll give you guys a good view of everything. So this is a better view here, so you can see the whole thing. And now I'm gonna have to bake it to finish this arm and get the hands attached to the body with the Bake and Bond or gel.